Hey, my friends, Happy New Year. We made it, 2025. Whether you're listening or watching this in real time or months down the road, the start of any season is like hitting a reset button. It's like that feeling when you wake up after a really good night's sleep. You wake up refreshed and motivated and just ready to start again. Lean into that energy, even if you've rolled your eyes at resolutions before. Resolutions often set us up for failure because they're based on fantasy thinking, without the tools or support in place for when life happens, or as the saying goes, when the hits the fan. I'm sure you've been there, right? And there's no backup plan in place for what we're going to say to ourselves the day after perfect. Tomorrow's a new day. That doesn't always cut it. And we waste precious time and energy trying to get ourselves motivated again. Before we dive into this 114th episode, I'm Clarenda Price, and I'm a certified life and weight loss coach, personal trainer, and was a registered nurse for 21 years. I help women who thrive in so many areas, yet they struggle with weight loss, stress eating, and having enough energy to complete everything they need to do that day. I teach them how to lose weight using simple science-based strategies to get to the root cause of overeating and reset their hunger hormones, making weight loss and everything else easier. When planning this episode, I asked myself, what do I want most for you this year? And the answer came quite quickly. It was, I want to help you not quit. I want to help you avoid quitting on yourself, because in case you need someone else to tell you this, you deserve it. The fear of quitting is the very reason why a lot of people stopped making resolutions. And you know why? Because it doesn't feel good to quit, especially if you start with this big goal like that I mentioned, the fantasizing, and then you don't reach it. Because what goes up, if you're going too high, it does come back down. And that's where you experience the discouragement, the defeated, the hopelessness, and then all the shame and blame that can be going on in the background. Even if you know better and say, no, I'm not going to do this, there's that nagging little voice or that inner critic that goes to work. Now, some things it's actually wise to quit on. It's having that awareness and knowing what really aligns with your values. But when it comes to health and weight loss, quitting is not always the wise answer. And in many cases, going at a snail's pace isn't the right answer. We can't see inside with our naked eye. And as I mentioned last week, as a nurse, I witnessed too many shocked looks on people's faces in the ER. I can see them now sitting on the stretcher, sitting in the chair and looking up at the practitioner like, what? Last month, my blood work was okay. And now you're telling me I have this? And maybe the markers were up slightly, but not enough that they really took it seriously. Quitting isn't the same as readjusting after you've assessed it, or tweaking and choosing a different approach. By quitting, I mean simply not trying, just giving up. It's when you quit ahead of time by not setting any goals, or the goals that you have set, you just abandon. And let me tell you that quitting isn't just about weight loss. It can show up in so many ways, in our mindset, habits, and even how we talk to ourselves when we stumble. If you'd like more encouragement on how not to quit, I really recommend episode number 35, How Not to Quit 3 Feet from Gold. You'll hear me coach through a client that I still have the privilege of working with. We're dealing more with life things now, but it all goes hand in hand. We end up eating over the things that we're stumbling on or we are stressed with in life. And it's not just about what we're doing. It's how our body is handling the stress. So today, let's talk about the real reason why it feels impossible to keep the weight off. Ready for it? Not knowing how to handle chronic stress effectively. So that's why we're going to talk about stress, your body, and cortisol. Listen to the end, as this information may help you stop beating yourself up or wondering why. There's a high probability that this may be the missing piece of the puzzle for you. Living in a chronically stressed state means you'll have more cortisol released in your body. This can lead to muscle breakdown, which can then lead to decreased metabolism and increased weight gain. Maybe this is speaking to you because you've been frustrated with staying stuck or maybe in a regain mode, no matter how hard you try. You've been doing all of the things, which then is increasing your stress. The hormone cortisol gets a bad rap, but it's not a bad thing. In fact, it's essential for regulating inflammation, blood sugar levels, and supporting your metabolism. The problem isn't cortisol itself, it's chronically elevated levels caused by mismanaged stress. And chronic stress doesn't just mess with your mind, it messes with your metabolism. There's a lot we could talk about with cortisol, but let's just look at these 3 things again. Chronic stress and elevated cortisol can lead to muscle breakdown, which then slows metabolism, increased appetite, especially for those processed foods and high-calorie comfort foods, and added fat storage. Cortisol loves to store in the belly, raising cardiovascular risk and inflammation. Does being super stressed sound familiar? I know I've been there. I know that feeling of white-knuckling it, just trying to push through that stressful season and hoping that willpower would save me. The spoiler alert, it didn't. It might seem like it did, but then have you ever had that effect later when the stressor's behind you and you suddenly collapse? You're exhausted, your adrenals are fatigued, and you just want to sleep and, I guess, eat. So the missing piece isn't another diet plan, another challenge, another fad diet. Because here's the truth. You already know how to lose weight. You've probably lost the same 10, 30, 50, whatever number before. You know you can lose it, but it's a frustration of not being able to maintain it. So remember, if cortisol remains unmanaged and stress is running the show, your body is working against you. The good news, you can break the cycle, but it requires a different approach, one that goes deeper than meal plans, exercise routines, and more willpower. It's why I developed the program, Feel Light, Mind and Body. And in this program, we focus on regulating 4 hormones: cortisol, insulin, ghrelin, and leptin. The last 3 are what we refer to as the hunger hormones. I teach you internal stress management tools that are always with you, no matter the season or the circumstance. External things like yoga and getting out in nature are helpful, but they're not always available to us. And I can sum it up that I provide you with simple, science-based tools and strategies that fit into your life. They're not going to take hours to do every day. The problem isn't in the weight, it's in the head. If you aren't taught how to handle it in your mind, you won't be able to solve it in your body. I've had plenty of experience over the past 8 years applying these tools and strategies and adding more to them. I've gone through a long 8-year divorce with days in court, dealing with my parents' dementia, dad passing, the empty nest syndrome, and other things as well. And I'm no special unicorn. If I can do it, I know you can do it as well. I just know that your mindset, your habits, and your body's stress response is what is going to determine the results you're going to have long term. Oh, and I can't forget support. I'm so thankful, that I invested in coaching through these years. That, along with my faith, has kept me focused, kept me assured, provided hope. I stayed in gratitude and was able to maintain a healthy mind and body. And now I'm taking it to the next level by really optimizing my health. So if you're tired of the yo-yo dieting and you're exhausted from the mental and emotional weight it takes to try again, I want to reassure you that it doesn't have to be that way. When you learn how to regulate your stress response, along with balancing your hunger hormones, everything else becomes easier. Your cravings, your consistency, and your energy. And the best part, you'll feel better doing it. Feel light, mind, and body. The question is, would you like to make this year different? Here's what I want you to know. You can create healthy, sustainable habits without relying solely on willpower. I teach you how. You can learn how to manage stress from within so it doesn't derail your progress. You can show up for your family and friends as an energized, content, and confident version of yourself. But you don't have to do it alone. You can take the first step today, and I'm making it easy for you because I'm offering for the next 2 weeks a free 20-minute session where together we can look at what you want to accomplish this year, what you're tired of, what you want more of, and I can help you make that intentional decision. Whether you work with me or not, you're going to leave that session feeling better. You'll feel seen, safe, and heard. And that alone can be valuable because sometimes we're tired of talking about it with our family, or we don't want to commit to something and then wonder what they're thinking about it. This is what I do. This is who I am. So you can totally tell me anything, and there's no judgment here. There's only caring, compassion, and an empowered drive within me to help you reach your goal. There's no prep needed on your part, and there'll be no pressure from me. I enjoy these sessions. I enjoy getting to know people. I enjoy some of my past clients coming back and saying, here's where I'm at, Clarinda. What's next? And again, sometimes it's let's get back on board together. Other times I may recommend something else for them. I want what's best for you, but I want to help you get there and give you hope that there's more to life than what you're feeling or what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Let's make this the year that you don't just start, but you finish. Your health is the greatest gift you can give yourself and to those you love. This month, I have a little extra thank you for those who rate, review, and share the podcast, along with my heartfelt thank you. Simply screenshot it or send me a message, and your name will go in for a draw for an Amazon gift card. There's no limit to how many entries. Every action that you take, you can record it, take a screenshot, tell me where to find it. If you're not sure how to take a screenshot, and you can add your name over and over again. Your support means the world to me. So share the love, okay? All right, let's make this happen. Until next week.